Yesterday, shocker of a trade went down. The Dallas Cowboys traded their superstar, some would say, pass rusher Micah Parsons to the Packers. The Packers gave back 2 first-round picks, defensive tackle Kenny Clark, and Ryan. You're a Packers fan. Let's set that aside. Let's put on our little objectivity hats. The media coverage of this is bizarre to me. It's bizarre. I know that we're not a football-y, meat and potatoes, sportsy sports show, but am I crazy in watching the coverage? And while admitting that the Cowboys are a mess, while admitting that Jerry Jones, though a fantastic actor, based on his cameo in Landman, perhaps has gone senile and is not running the team well, that there's an unfairness to how the deal has been assessed in media. And perhaps you are here to explain to me why it seems so many media members are just going crazy, just pumping up Parsons and crushing the Cowboys. And I'll stop monologuing eventually, Ryan. I will give you the chance to speak eventually, but let's get some art up there. Let's get that CBS story from the NFL world about this as a historically terrible trade for the Cowboys. Trace, can we get that up on the screen? Can the people see it? Yes. Inside the anonymous NFL reaction to the Cowboys, it says something like, this might be the worst trade ever. I'm seeing that across the board, Ryan. What the hell?
Kenny Clark is a great Packer, but it seems like his best days were behind him. He's approaching 30. He makes a lot of money. We've seen Khalil Mack brought a bigger trade haul when he went to the Bears. We've seen off at left tackles go. Laramie Tunsil got a bigger draft haul than what the Cowboys got for Micah Parsons, and it is just it's crazy how one-sided the media reaction is, and I have some theories about it, and I guess we'll get into them right now. So Parsons is represented by David Mulugeta of Athletes First. And yes, I'm a Packers fan, but I'm skeptical about this agency and this agent and doing deals that are not always great for the teams. They that Mulugeta did this Deshaun Watson deal with the Browns, which has been an albatross, and like every other NFL team has refused to go along with this like 5 year fully guaranteed deal that Watson did with the Browns. This Tua Tagovailoa deal with the Dolphins, I'm actually not sure if he has Mulugeta or a different Athlete's First agent, but that doesn't look team friendly. The Dak Prescott deal with the Cowboys was Mulugeta. He is making 60 million a year. Usually we see the quarterback market reset all the time, but it has not reset to pay people like Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes or Lamar Jackson more money than what Dak is making in Dallas, and so it's a tricky thing, and I think that I've said this on the show before, but I analogize Mulugeta to Rich Paul at Clutch. But the difference is when we see people in the NBA gassing up a Clutch Media client, all of a sudden everyone's socials like you're a Clutch merchant
Yeah.
and things like
Clutch
that. Like
media. Yes.
whether it is like fair or not, that's the reaction. We don't see that reaction with the way that the media touts Athletes First clients, and it's a little bit surprising to me given how much bigger the NFL is than the NBA. You would think that that would like start to be caught on to.
I completely agree. It reminds me of the Sapir-Whorf idea that if you give a name to something, you see it. We have named Clutch and Clutch Media Influence and have the association with LeBron. So when it happens, we see it. NFL, we don't really have a name for it. It's hard to say that agent's name. I don't even want to say it right now because I feel I'm going to stumble all over it. And so it's not being remarked upon. But I do think it has informed, along with how player empowerment might have gotten purchased with a lot of people in sports media, a puffing up of Parsons. And look, you guys can react to this fairly and say that I am not an NFL expert. I never covered the NFL. I didn't. And if
Did
you
you
want
play
to,
in the NFL?
shockingly, no. I know it surprises people. I get asked that all the time. And if you want to believe the likes of Benjamin Solak and Ben Barnwell, all the Bens
Bill
out
Barnwell.
there who are experts in this field by all means. I feel there's a misalignment here with the Parsons reputation and the reality. I say it from a Niners perspective. He had 2 playoff games against the Niners. He had an additional highly hyped regular season game against them. He didn't do a damn thing. And that is part of a pattern for him. And it would make sense. I don't think it's just small sample size. He's a smaller defensive end. He's linebacker sized. And I think against bad competition, perhaps he feasts, but it seems like it's been famine when it's been the bigger games and when it's been playoffs. That your Packers traded for him. Do you remember him doing anything against them in that playoff game? Do you have any sort of solo memory? Because I do not.
My
And
wife
so
went
when,
into labor with my third kid during that game, so memories of it, the football part of it, are kind of hazy.
I
But
don't believe that for a second. I think you were paying attention to that game, but we're going to set that aside. It's okay. I'm just looking at some of the coverage of him, and I'm wondering, is it fair to say this is agent influence? I know that sounds unfair. I don't know Greg Rosenthal, the analyst of the NFL Daily podcast. This might be unfair, but he says Micah is the best pure pass rusher to enter the league in the last 20 years. If you're going to make this move for anyone, it's him.
he's
He
not
doesn't
better
have a
than the Watt brothers. He's not better than Myles Garrett. He's not probably better than Trey Hendrickson. What's
not
the
better than Bosa, I will say
Aaron
locally.
Donald? Like Aaron Donald's the best. So
What
you've
if we just turn
also
the rest of the show into this, just naming guys? I don't know. I know, but I'll just throw one stat out. I'll throw one stat and just one observation. He doesn't have a top 5 finish in QB hits. His best season was his rookie season. He is bad against the run in a league that is transitioning into more of a rushing attack. I take it that your Packers are advantaged by having him, and he might be a missing piece for them on third downs. But I can't help but feel it feels a little bit like of agent to athlete influence. And I don't know if I'm being unfair because I'm not an NFL journalist.
Well, yeah, I mean, as I said, in the duration of this deal, I would expect TJ Watt to be better than Micah Parsons. I would expect Myles Garrett to be better than Micah Parsons. And you know what? The Carters, Jalen Carter and Abdul Carter, are on a rookie deals. And I mean, especially we've seen Jalen at the NFL level. I think that Abdul is about as can't miss of a prospect as you can get. Those two I expect to be better pass rushers. So they're doing this like sleight of hand by saying that Parsons is the second best quote edge rusher
Mm,
to Myles Garrett right now. So I guess that means like TJ Watt isn't an edge rusher, but like it's about hitting the quarterback. And should 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 Micah Parsons be making like 3 times as much as Saquon Barkley? Like there's just a
no.
difference making aspect, and like there's only so many ways you can pay people. But the NFL salary cap is kind of fake. It's just like a made up number. They restructure these deals, and it's like this saves $12 million of cap space, and you're like, how? I don't know. It just does. And so you like the Packers have this advantage that they've really never used before, which is that they don't have a owner who needs to extract money from the franchise to pay for his own life and like several generations of his family life in the case of some of these legacy franchises like the Steelers, the Colts, the Bears. But like so there's just like a way where you can like front load cash flow and it just never catches up to you. The Eagles take advantage of it. Like if there is a strict salary cap, there's no way that the Eagles could have this many great players all at once. So I think the salary cap is kind of fake, but I also think that the way that like Micah Parsons is getting gassed up and the Cowboys are getting killed for not paying him this while also getting 2 first round picks back, it's very curious.
It is curious. And I'm going to read a comment right here. I'm going to turn my head to the comment reading from Thomas. Why do so many sports journalists sigh and huff at fans for being pro owner instead of pro player in disputes? Shouldn't it be intuitive that the fan just wants each the optimal outcomes for their team? If I root for a team, it is in my best interest to have players sign team friendly deals rather than player-friendly deals. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would add there is a misalignment here. Again, granted, the Cowboys are a mess. Granted, Jerry Jones is senile. Granted, if they are in a rebuild, some of their recent moves don't make sense. And granted, it is typically better to do a trade like this before the draft than after the draft. All that said, this to me is obviously a smarter outcome. Trading him right now and not paying him all this money than if they just paid him a ton of money on a team that can't compete for a Super Bowl. So what does it say that if they paid him $47 million a year, they would have gotten less criticism, Ryan, than doing what they did? What does that say? I find that interesting.